How's it going, guys? We were talking some Penn State football today. Man, Saturday was certainly an interesting day. I did not expect Penn State to put up that much of a fight against Ohio State. I'm proud of the effort, but I don't like to accept moral victories. And I guess that's kind of the big takeaway from this game because I didn't expect them to do as well as they did against the run, or at least for most of the game. Obviously, Trayvon Henderson went for that like 60-something yard run in the third quarter, and that set them up for the touchdown. And Penn State, like in the past, in 2019, for example, they kept things close, and same with last year in 2020. Even though the scores were only 11 and 13-point deficits, it was clear that Ohio State was on a different level. And this game, I didn't get that feeling. I felt like Penn State matched up with Ohio State man to man. Maybe not as well, but they were a lot closer than they were the last couple years. And especially up front, I was surprised, maybe not on the offense side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball, that the D-line was able to wreak some havoc, especially in the run game. I wish they could have gotten a sack on Stroud. They weren't able to do that, but at least they were able to make Ohio State's offense really work for everything that they got. And the DBs, as good as our DBs are, Ohio State's receivers are better, which I figured. And I'm just happy that the DBs were able to do what they could do. The defense really gave Penn State a chance to win this game. And the offense couldn't capitalize. They looked a lot better than obviously they did against Illinois. Clifford looked like a whole lot different. I mean, he was a lot different of a quarterback than he was against Illinois. I don't know what happened in the last week health-wise, but something happened where something really healed quickly because he was able to be kind of old Sean Clifford, what we were used to the first 6 weeks of the season. And he was somebody that I think really came up big, and he made some really nice throws. Obviously, he made some mistakes, though, because he had the interception to Dotson, which he tends to do things like that. Like I remember against Illinois, he threw up a ball with like 3 Illinois guys around Dotson, and Dotson came down with it, but that could have very well worked out badly for Penn State. And he saw one-on-one Dotson going deep, and he just threw it up, hoping Dotson would make a play, and Dotson didn't even see it. He turned around late while the Ohio State guy reacted to it a lot quicker and intercepted it. And it's unfortunate, but Clifford needs to be able to make better decisions. And even if he had to take a sack there, that would have been a heck of a lot better. And he needs to try and hang on to the ball, obviously, on the scoop and score. That was demoralizing because Penn State was a few plays away from winning this game. Now, Ohio State made mistakes too. For example, on that C.J. Stroud pass to Chris Olave, he had him wide open. But and the officiating, I think, could have gone both ways because I think overall they were pretty bad. The one play that is pretty controversial, I think, is the one where John Lovett went out of bounds and came back in. The question was whether he was forced out or not. It was tic-tac. It was hard to tell. I mean, he did impede Lovett's path, but he didn't really touch him. And Lovett clearly made a decision of his own to kind of go out of bounds. I mean, he wasn't like forced out, if that makes sense. Like he was kind of forced, but it was very tic-tac. I understand why the rest, because that was a big play in the game, and he did go way out of bounds and then come back in. So, like, I mean, I didn't expect that to be called a touchdown. Even though I heard the Ohio State player came up to Lovett after the game and said that he forced him out of bounds. So that's interesting. But, based on what I saw, I understand why the refs called it how they did. And, yeah, so I feel a lot better about this program now than I did last week. I think that we can win out, honestly. Michigan and Michigan State are good, but I think Ohio State's still better than they are. And I think 10-3, if you are able to finish 10-3, which is a very realistic goal for this team right now, compared to what it was last year, you get back to a 10-win season. Even 9-4, that's not too bad. You don't want to get to 8-5 or 7-6. That's kind of like the range where we were back when Franklin first took over. But a good building season based off what we had last year, and hopefully you can build off of that going to 2022. That'd be fine. Would it be what we want? No, but at this point we have to accept that. and this is where this program's at right now. And there are a lot of things going on, even off the field with Franklin, and that are going to have to be established. And so, yeah, it's an interesting season, very weird team this year, and it's been fun in some ways. In some ways, it's definitely not been fun, but always ride Penn State. Always stick with them no matter what. Always watch them if I can, and looking forward to the rest of the season, seeing how they can do against Michigan and Michigan State. Hopefully they beat Maryland next week. I hate Maryland after what they did last year. I was pretty annoyed by that, and hopefully Penn State can give them some revenge. All right, well, thank you guys. We are Penn State.